Hi everyone, happy Friday. Thought I would share my completed pages for June today. I didn't think I had colored that much, but then putting this together, I was like, I definitely have more than 10 pages, which is kind of my limit. So, and I have quite a few non-colored by number pages this month, which is always nice to see. I am a little late with it, but given the trip and coming back and everything, I just hadn't had a chance to do it yet. I probably sound a lot calmer than I did during Wednesday's video. I think I was still had some of that vacation excitement, and now like the tiredness has set in. If you suffer from chronic fatigue issues, you know how it goes. You go to something and you actually do have fun at it and have pretty good energy throughout, but if it's something you're not used to doing, that you haven't built up a lot of stamina to do, when you come back you kind of have a recovery period. And Tuesday I slept all day, and then Wednesday I did that video and I thought, oh wow, I bounced back pretty quick. It must be the new med. And then yesterday I slept all day and felt like blah. And today, this morning, I feel a little better, but it's still not as much energy as I wanted. But what am I gonna do, right? Like, I can only drink so much coffee and take my medicine and do all I can do, and just have to deal with it. So, but this should be a fairly quick video. I don't have a ton to cover. Let me see. I have 2 or 3 in this one, maybe 5 in this one, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, maybe 17? I don't know. I'll do a full tally at the end. So, alright. So we'll do the color by number books last. We'll do these first. Alright. So I did do a palette challenge where I tried to color usually a mandala and a page from one of his Cuties book. Usually a mandala from one of Alexandra Franzise's books, and a Cuties book from Joshua Dunbar. I will pick a palette and I will do a picture in each one in that palette from the color cubes. This time I picked number 500. And so this was my page in here for the month. Let's see if I can zoom in. Still waiting on my new light. My other one's broken, so I'm trying to carefully balance it on my camera holder. So, but yeah, no, this turned out really nice. I added some gel pen to her bottom half to give it a little bit of sparkle. I thought she turned out really cute on what felt like a pretty limited color palette for me, I guess because there were 2 types of blue-greens and like a yellow and orange and a red. So this felt very a little more limited than most palettes, and so I usually add stuff, and in this case I was kind of feeling the warm gray vibe to it, and so I think that worked out really well for this particular palette. And I threw in this kind of pickle green color too, and I thought it worked out well. So most of the time the palettes are an inspiration. I stick with those colors and then I'll add to them usually, because I just have a lot of trouble sticking to just 5 colors, or 6 colors I guess in her case. Some mandalas by Alexandra Franzese. I did this page, and you can see the gold from the gold pen that I used. I should have used a thinner tip, but I still like the result that I got. Those are from the Artugan paint pens that I got as a Happy Mail gift a couple months ago. And then again, the same palette with that warm gray thrown in. And it's just, I like doing 2 different pages because it's always interesting to me how different you can make a page look with the same palette. So like, well, So like here's the two, and I used the same markers. I kept them out for both, and but this one's got a lot more of the orange and dark orange in it, and reddish orange, and this one has, I guess, a lot more of the gray in it. So I think it's just interesting. You can create different looks with a limited color palette. That's kind of the reason I do this as kind of an exercise, because I like to use so many colors. Sometimes it's better for me to learn how to use just a limited color palette sometimes. So definitely not super bright, nothing like the previous page, but a little more muted, which is unusual for me. But again, just trying new colors and new palettes and things like that. So part of Watercolor Summer 2024, I did 2 pictures this month. I have Hello Spring by Lenka Filinenko. This was coloring one of my first pages in this book. And we've got this little guy hanging on for dear life. I did the Supra watercolor pencils in the background, and then went over it with Artisto colored pencils and a little bit of sparkly gel excuse me, sparkly gel pen on the border. I think it turned out really well. I was surprised at how well the Artisto laid down on this paper. I didn't know how it was going to go lay down one or the other, so I was happy for that. And yeah, I just really like how this page turned out, and I always save my cats for last on my pages, and I always try to put the most effort into them, so because to me they're the stars of the show. Even if they're just a tiny part of the picture, they're the stars of the show to me. So he got more attention than the other parts of the picture, but it's very cute. Color Me Cappy. I did another page in here. I would think I would like to do maybe a page a month in here. This is my favorite Color Me book, and I think the Halloween one that I pre-ordered is coming out this month, and I hope it turns out to be one I like as much as this one. But I did this cute little page where they're having a little picnic, and just sat outside one day when it was not absolutely miserable swamp weather like it is right now, and colored it, and I thought it turned out super cute. Just markers on this one. I don't even think I put in any gel pens. I was kind of lazy on my gel pen use. I take that back. The butterfly has a little bit of gel pen, and the little leaves here have a little bit of sparkle to them. So I try to do, like, when I color these with markers, my favorite way to do it is to color them, then outline in the same color, usually just because it's easier, just to give a light shading effect. It washes out a little bit on these pages, so I might try to go with a slightly darker color to do that and see if I can get more shading. But you know what, this is helping me kind of be okay with not so much shading with my markers. We started a new series this month, Crypted's Color and Chat, and I will be working through completing this book and talking about the different American cryptids that are out there. This is American Cryptids by Sophia P.H., I think, and then published by Paranoid American. I kicked this off last Wednesday before we went to Point Pleasant, West Virginia to see the origins of Mothman, and in honor of Pride Month I decided to make a rainbow Mothman, and this was just a fun, relaxed kind of color. I wasn't trying to apply any sort of real technique to this. And what's funny is when I try to do rainbow, if you saw that video, you see how many markers I have to pull to really get a almost blended effect. And I wasn't super successful because there are lines, but overall, I'm really happy with how he looks. I did spend some time on his wings with the So Color gel pens because I wanted them to be rainbow color, and there's still places that I missed. It's one of the things that I don't like much about pens and gel pens is oftentimes you're looking at a picture and you're like, I got everything, but then you look at it from another angle and you see that there's still spots to fill. And I spent time filling in spots last week and there's still spots, but you know, it's fine. But I used the gold Artigan pens, and then the gel pens. Mothman's supposed to have white wings, and I didn't want to put so much color on these, so I just outlined a lot of the sections in the gel pens, which I thought created a really nice effect. It might be something I look into when I'm coloring like fairy wings and things like that. So there was our first cryptid dude or dudette. What I'll do, I'm not sure how often I'll do these, but basically as I'm coloring with them, I do give facts about them and things like that. I try to list my sources. There's other ones in this book, a lot of ones I'm not familiar with. Obviously, you know that one. And we might just start at the front. And my brother and I told him we should create a bucket list where we go look at the places where all these cryptids are from. If they're as nice as Point Pleasant, I would love to do that. But I don't know if a lot of places embrace their cryptids as much as Point Pleasant. So might not be the greatest trick. But some of them, we actually live within easy drive distance of Hopkinsville, Kentucky. So I do think they have Green Men Days or something that Goblin Days or something they do in Hopkinsville, which is Christian County. So my brother and I might look into that. I don't know, but just something fun I've wanted to do for a while. And my other watercolor summer, I technically did half of this week, but we're going to count it for June. Because I was going to get it done before I left, and I'm just considering today the cutoff date. Gnomes by it says published by Jade Summer, but this is Joshua Dunbar's book. And I did this picture, which I am super proud of. I think this really turned out nice. Super color watercolors again, and the Artisto colored pencils, mostly because I wanted to see how they did on the page. And as you can see, the super color watercolors did have a little bit of wrinkling happen on the page up here, but the rest of the page is pretty smooth. And then the Artisto pencils, like, I feel like they perform better on this paper than any pencil I know of in recently. So I'm going to test those out again. I was kind of waffling on them. Then I used them in this book, and I'm like, man, they do really well on Amazon paper, which is unusual for me in colored pencils to find ones that I'm truly happy with on Amazon paper. So I would like to give them a try on a marker background just to see if it was the texture that was created by activating the watercolors, or if it's just the true Amazon paper that they actually work rather well with. But I thought this one turned out so great, I didn't even need, it's a picture. I love glitter and I love gel pens, but it's a picture I feel like I put a lot of effort in, and I'm super proud of when, like, I don't add a ton of glitter gel pen. So there is that one. Alright, color by numbers. I finished a Alice Mills book a while back and didn't start another one for a while, and then I think I did just one page in this book, but then I decided to pick it up and start working it again. No, I hadn't started one in it, so I did a few pages in it this month. I do apologize because these are shiny pages, but we have the Dearest one. I usually start from the back and work my way to the front. That way, if marker goes over this won't be covered up till I do the next page, and so I can easily read the color key. So I did this one while I was gone. The little ducks at the lake. I think I got one more. And then I did this little cute little wizard skunk, or whatever he is. These are real simple to do. Marker goes real smooth on this black paper, and you can easily move up and down the lines without worrying about it getting in between because of the black. So you can, like, I usually will do one of these a day when I'm really on a roll. But then I usually give most marker pages about 24 hours to fully dry, just to be on the safe side. So if I do one page in here, if I do it first thing in the morning, I might do another page later at night, but for the most part, I'll wait till the next day to do one, just to make sure. So we're starting to work in one of these again. Summer Vibes seems to be my main color by number book right now, by Alexander Frenzies. I'm trying to remember where we stopped. I think he was the last one from last month. So we start here, or from May. So we start here. I know my white gel pen work is not super luxurious. It's a little shaky, but as long as I get some highlights in there, I'm usually pretty happy with it. So we got Mr. Crab, lobster, cheese. 3. I think I changed this to a dark blue and then added in that. I can't remember, or maybe it was dark blue to begin with. Occasionally I will alternate colors just because I want to use something else. So this is part of where Leroy decided to critique my pages by throwing up on a page last week, and so a few little colors did run on a page or two. You can kind of see it there. I wish he had just told me. You really didn't have to throw up on anything. I like this page a lot. I like the more pastel kind of, everything's different colors in a sunset or a sunrise, as opposed to like your typical colors down here. I think that's cool. And then I did this one while I was on vacation. I always pack more than I'm going to do, and that's exactly how it turned out. I just did not do as much coloring as I thought I would. Alright, okay, let me count these. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wow, I did a lot of those this month. So that's 9, 10, 11, 12 of the color by number. Now this one, I did complete a book this month. I'll put a card in the top right if you want to see the completed book. Let me see if I can remember. I think I might be showing y'all the cougar again. This is Wildcats by Eclipse. This is my first Eclipse book to finish. But we have the cougar. We have the Andean mountain cat. Oh, maybe we start with him. Maybe that's why the flag's there. Okay. So we'll start with him. We have the caracal, I think. I had 2 browns that were too close, so he looks a little washed out where he would have a little more detail, but it's fine. And then we had the cheetah, which I thought his coloring was really cool. And then there was like that sort of nighttime sky pattern. So that was 3 more out of there. So that was 15 alone out of this. 16, 17, 18, 19, 21 pages this month, which anything over 20 is a really good month for me coloring wise. So I had more energy, I guess, than I usually do, and this month shows it. Also had more anxiety this month because of family health issues and worrying about the trip and stuff like that. So I think a lot of that combined to why I colored so much this month. I'm really, really, really proud that I did 2 watercolor summer pictures, and that they were in books that I hadn't colored in before. That was something I was really proud of. And then I started the Crypted series. And yeah, so in talking about July, I'm probably not going to grab any specific books because I don't know, every time I pick a pile of books, we're here at the end of the month, and then I will not have colored in hardly any of them, and it it makes me feel bad. Like I get mad because I'm picking for the person I want to be that has the time to color all those. And so it doesn't do much for me to do that. However, just talking about the month as a whole, we will probably, I would like to do, just grabbing in the books I already have kind of with me, I would like to do another Cryptid series. I'm going to talk to my brother about the Hopkinsville one. Like, maybe we sneak down to that event if they have it, or sneak up to that event. If we do, and I'm holding off on this one, we might just start off with the Loveland Frogman. Like I said, some of these I've never seen before, so it should be interesting. I'd like to do another one next month sometime, for sure, in the Cryptids book. If you have a favorite cryptid you would like for me to do, let's see, let me show you what I've got here. So we've got those. Like I said, a lot of these I have not heard of. Of course, Chupacabra, I've heard of that one. A Wendigo, that might be the last one. I'd say out of all of them in this book, the idea of the Wendigo scares me pretty good. So, like I said, a lot of these aren't ones I necessarily know about, but maybe you do. Maybe they're more local to you. So I would like to maybe do another one in this series, if not in July, but then in August. I do want to do another page in the Color Me Capybaras. Might even work on this today. I'll probably just go to page 3 and do the gondola ride. I think some people get prints of this book that the images are in all different orders. We might skip over the winter ones. Might try to stick to the summer seasonal type ones, like, and then fill in the autumn ones in the fall and stuff, I think. Because I don't know, I love autumn, but I'm not super in the mood to color autumn right this second. I am actually kind of loving, this is so cute. I'm loving my summer vibe, even though I hate the heat outside right now. I do want to do another, I probably will work out of Island Cuties again with my palette challenge. Our next page in here will be this one. So I'll probably try to pick, well, no, I will just pick whatever suits my fancy because he can be any color I want him to be. So I'll probably do that and then pick out a mandala book of Alexandra Franzese, probably the new one that just came out, Kawaii Mandalas. I do have that, and we'll be flipping through it probably Wednesday, might be next weekend. We'll see when I get some other books in, but I want to pick a palette and do both of those. So I do know that. I do know, if I can find it, I will be doing the last page in my Baby Dragons book by Jade Summer, to finish out the Buddy Color book project that Tammy and I are doing. That will be my first non-color by number completed book. I'm excited about that, but I cannot find that book right now anywhere easily findable. So there's that. So I guess I do have some plans, and continuing to work out of this book. And this book, oh, I do have a whip to show you too. Watercolor Summer. I would like to at least do one of my pictures in some of my Japanese or Korean books, do a picture, and then maybe the other picture in Erie. Maybe. I'm thinking. I don't know. But that's kind of what I'm thinking about, like some of my books like that. For July, if I can get 2 in. I do have a whip I need to finish. I should have showed that to you earlier. It's just every time I get whips, it seems like if I don't get to them quickly, like they just sit there for months. And this is out of fur balls or hair balls, however you want to say it. I started with the first picture in the book. I actually used this palette again, though I haven't put any of the dark brown. I just used the lighter colors, and I think I used the super color watercolor pencils again, and I might just use the Artisto pencils since I have them out. But that one's turning out real nice, and that'll be another Watercolor Summer picture. And that is pretty much it on the planned list right now. Like I said, I don't want to get too expansive. I have a bunch of books I pulled that I was going to take with me last week. That it's a good thing I didn't, because I hardly colored in the books I took with me. Just didn't have time. It wasn't that I didn't want to, I just didn't have time. But yeah, that's kind of the plan for July. Continuing my coloring book collection. That'll give me, if we do 2 Watercolor Summer demos and then the Cryptids, that'll give me like 3 demos / coloring chats. I probably won't be chatting a lot in all 3 because I just don't anticipate that much. Oh God, I should have never said that. I don't have enough to talk about for 3 long videos, so some of those might just be talking about the picture and the process. And then continuing the coloring book collection, and yeah, that's pretty much all I've got right now. It is a heat index of like, apparently for, I guess this is our new summer. Our new summer is going to be heat indexes over 100 degrees every day with like 80% humidity. And when I tell you just how much energy that heat takes out of me, and it's like I don't have any as it is. So I'm not thrilled by that. And normally we don't have this till further in July and in August, but this year we're getting it early. I guess we're getting payback for the long spring we got. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I've been itching to do a page in a Camilla d'Errico book. I would like to try the distress inks on the background, but I don't know if I'm brave enough to do that yet, just because I haven't been using them that much. So I might treat the page or try it with some Neocolor 2s just to see how well watercolor does in these books. That's something that's been kind of sitting in my head. And a Hannah Carlson book, probably continuing in Grains of Gold. Like, if I really had the time and the ability, I would say, well, we'd add a couple of those to the mix. So I would really like to do just a watercolor only picture this month, but I don't know if that's going to happen. We'll see. Anyway, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed, and hopefully I'll be back tomorrow with a recap of my trip and showing you some of the goodies I got. That's probably not as much coloring related, but if you like anime or fun little pens or prints and like sci-fi and fantasy type stuff, video games, then you might be interested in that. I'll talk a little bit about the different guests they had and some of the panels we went to and stuff. So don't expect a lot of people to be interested in that, but it's just fun for me to recap it. So anyway, thanks guys. That'll hopefully be Sunday. Thanks, and bye for now.